The following is rated M for mature audiences, IM for immature audiences, PW for please watch. We'll give you the shot in the arm you've been waiting for. Let's go.
Well, the Lakers had cause for concern at the All-Star break, but they've looked pretty good since then. The bench has stepped up in the absence of Anthony Davis. The star big man's been out for more than a month, could be a few more weeks before he returns. The team's not rushing him, though, and if they slip in the standings, so be it. We know they need him fresh for the playoffs, so this layoff might be the best thing that's happened to them. I guarantee this show is the best thing that could happen to you right now. And here to prove it, do not put this man in isolation on the court. He'll burn you every time. Reporter and podcaster from Nightcast Media, Nick Hamilton. And making her going Roggin debut, she's a host for the Fumble Sports on YouTube, Jackie Ray. All right, are you surprised how the team has started to come together without Davis, Nick?
A little bit, Fred, but not too much, because when you look at what this team is compiled of, especially with LeBron James, that doesn't need to be said, but also the other guys that are involved. And I think there were three X factors in the absence of Anthony Davis. One happens to be Kyle Kuzma, who in the last few games has averaged about 19 points per game, but almost averaged a double-double in those games as well. Also, you have to look at the other X factor in Taylor Horton-Tucker, who brings the energy, who brings that vibe, especially in the second and third quarters off the bench. And then you got Montrezl Harrell, who's been performed highly as a star when it comes to the pick and roll that he's developed with Kyle Kuzma. So I think, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, but not so much, especially with the talent that is around LeBron James currently. Oh, and let's not forget Dennis Schroeder as well coming back. That was a huge shot in the arm.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all either. One of the things that I have harped on this entire season is how great they look as far as their chemistry, as far as their love for each other. And I think that is one of the things that can really push a team along when they're down. And LeBron in the past has had an issue, especially with the younger guys. Sometimes even the look on his face can kind of suck the life out of these guys. That is not the case right now. Everybody is encouraging each other. And I'm just really excited to see how relaxed LeBron is. And it's giving him a chance to kind of mentor some of these younger guys. I was disappointed in the Warriors game that they did not pull him out sooner, because I think that you do need a completely healthy LeBron and AD late in the season. So I don't like all the minutes he's playing, but I am not surprised that they pulled it together as a team and are moving forward with this brotherhood.
That being said, 2 months left in the season. Jackie, how soon do they need AD back?
So this is a tough one for me, because I'm going to say wait as late as you possibly can. If you can wait till late April, I'm all for that, because again, you need a 100% healthy AD and a 100% healthy LeBron to really make a deep run in the playoffs. So if you can wait until late April to do that, I'm all for that, especially as we get closer to the trade deadline. I think you really need to see these guys get together and see what they can do on their own. But yeah, I think you bring AD back in later when he can get the chemistry with them, and then they can build and move forward in the playoffs.
Yeah, my reaction is going to slightly be opposite of Jack. Yeah, I'm going to say Anthony Davis needs to be about 85 to 90% healthy, but most importantly, he needs to be pain-free in order for him to be able to be that juggernaut that they need in the playoffs as their big man. No Laker team has really won a championship without a healthy and consistent big man. So this is their opportunity. They're going to go back to back. They better hold off as much and as long as they can in order to make sure that Anthony Davis is healthy and going ahead and get that chip so we can finally get that parade down Figueroa. Please.
As for the Lakers' biggest star, this week LeBron James became part owner of the Boston Red Sox. LeBron said it was amazing for him and his business partner Maverick Carter to be the first black owners in the franchise. Then he was asked if he wants to one day own an NBA team.
My goal is to own a team, own an NBA team. I got so much to give to the game. I know what it takes to win at this level. I know talent. I also know how to run a business as well. And, so that is my goal.
Of course, LeBron can't become an owner till his playing days are done. But Jackie, do you want to see LeBron in the owner's suite?
Absolutely. I'm sure Nick is smiling because my fandom for LeBron knows no bounds. Anything he wants to do, I am going to co-sign on it. And I agree with him 100%. The way his basketball IQ and his basketball mind works, he is going to be an asset to any team. And just what he's done for this country as far as this social movement, I think one of the things I've always said, if you're going to really push for change, you have to either build your own table or you have to make sure you have a seat at the table. And him and his mindset mindset and the things that he believes in is going to be an asset for any team. Not only that, his heart for young people, it's going to be beneficial for every young athlete coming in on that team. That team is automatically going to benefit the community because of his spirit of giving. It's a win-win the second LeBron becomes an owner, and I personally am looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to LeBron becoming an owner, but I'm also looking more forward to him diversifying his portfolio, because when you look at what LeBron James can do, I mean, you see what he's already done as far as 2011 when he owned 2% of Liverpool FC, which is a soccer team. Then he's been continuing to do things with the media side and the entertainment side of his businesses, and now he's trying to make sure he wants to dominate the world by go ahead and owning a basketball team. Now, how much of that basketball team will he be able to own remains to be seen, but I don't think he wants to be a majority owner like we see Michael Jordan. I think more so in the fashion of Magic Johnson, who likes to have a certain amount of percentage and make sure his voice is heard and his needs are met when it comes to that. And then moving forward to conquer something else, maybe possibly in the NHL or maybe WNBA or possibly the NFL. So the sky's the limit when it comes to LeBron James, but he's definitely on his way.
All right, we've got about 20 seconds here. LeBron is a Yankee fan and a Dodger fan. About 20 seconds. You got a problem with him buying into the Red Sox, Nick?
Absolutely. I hate the Red Sox, Fred. Why in the world? Any other team you can do, you choose the Red Sox? I mean, hey, I understand it from a business side, but hey, go Yankees, go Dodgers.
That is ridiculous. I don't care. He is a businessman. This is a businessman. I don't care what team he owns. Ownership is important no matter where it comes from. Fandom and business, completely separate. I do not care about this at all. Just congratulations, LeBron.
And, of course, last fall, LeBron was rooting for the Dodgers. Dave Roberts has plenty of fans these days. Amazing what winning the World Series will do. The manager of the Dodgers is standing by, and he'll join me in just a bit.
5 questions, 2 minutes. It's time for rapid fire.
All right, here's some rapid fire. When the Rams traded Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford, defensive lineman Michael Brocker said Stafford was a level up, that he would lead the team where Goff couldn't. Well, the Rams traded Brockers to the Lions, so now he is Goff's teammate again. Put those 2 minutes on the clock. How do you start that apology, Jackie?
You don't. You said what you said and you meant what you said. And there's nothing wrong with appreciating your new quarterback coming in and giving him some accolades. Obviously, there's some things that he saw in Jared Goff that he didn't necessarily agree with, that he appreciated seeing in Matthew Stafford. And I think that is perfectly fine. So you just man up, you say it with your chest. You don't owe anybody an apology for what you feel. You sit down and you figure out a way to move on once again as teammates, but you don't apologize. You don't owe anybody an apology for this.
Au contraire, my friend. The apologies will be raining down from heaven, especially come Christmas time, because he's going to make up for what he had said, because guess what? He didn't expect to be on the Detroit Lions with Jared Goff. So now that he is, see, what had happened was somebody took my phone, and yeah, that really wasn't me, but he's going to make all kind of excuses in the book. So good luck to Michael Brockers in Detroit, along with Jared Goff.
Clippers debuted their new alternate uniforms the other night. Nick, what do you think of these?
You know what? Those uniforms are actually kind of cool, Fred. I can rock them with the Jordan 11s, you know, with the Breads. I can rock them with, you know, the Air Force One. So, yeah, they're kind of fashionably into them. I get that.
I thought they were terrible. I think they looked like they were made by an intern who forgot the color scheme and was like, let me just throw this red around the sleeves really quick. There's no fashion statement said with this. I do not like them at all.
Shaq thinks the WNBA should lower the rims so more players can dunk. What do you think, Jackie? You like that idea?
It's probably the first time in history, but yes, I low-key agree with Shaquille O'Neal, not because to take away any talent from these ladies, but when you're talking about true basketball fans, one of the things we love is seeing those monster dunks over people. I know we all just went crazy when Brittany got her first dunk in the WNBA. We were all excited for her, but you just don't see it enough. I think it would be an upgrade and it would get more viewership to the WNBA, which is going to be key for them going forward.
You and Shaq are so disrespectful. Do not lower the rims. Keep the rims where they are. These ladies are phenomenal. You are disrespecting these ladies by making them handicapped with these lower rims. Don't do it. They are on an incline when it comes to the WNBA. Hell, they're celebrating 25 years already. They getting more exposure than they ever have in the last couple of years. So leave the rims alone. Appreciate the game for what it is. And if you don't have anything nice to say, just be quiet, shut up, and just move on. Shaq, thank you very much.
All right, you know what? No, you know what? We're going to let you two sort this out. So you work on that, and then we'll get back with you in a few minutes. Enjoying March Madness? Nice to have the NCAA tournament back after it was canceled last year. Women's tournament started this weekend, but the best team in Southern California didn't even get an invite. Last weekend, the ladies from Cal Baptist and Riverside won the WAC Conference Championship, wrapped up a perfect season, 24-0. So I asked a couple of the starters an obvious question.
Don't you think if a team has a season like you did, they should be allowed to go to the NCAA tournament and play for the national championship?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, but they can't. Cal Baptist has only been Division I for 3 years, and there's a rule that you're ineligible for March Madness until the program's 5th season in Division I.
In a perfect world, we'd be in the NCAA tournament, and we know we're not able to do that just yet, but we'll keep working towards it, and hopefully we'll get there sometime soon.
Even the NCAA was confused about the rule, tweeting that Cal Baptist had punched their ticket to the big dance. But instead of the NCAA, the undefeated Lancers went to the NIT.
It kind of sucks knowing that we won the tournament and we would have been able to go, but I think we're just kind of focused on what we can do, and we can go to the NIT, and that's our next goal, is to go out and win that.
24-0. Cal Baptist knows how to win, and so does Dave Roberts. The manager of the Dodgers joins me in a few minutes.
Maybe you're still keeping your distance, but being social is the name of the game. Fred, NBC LA on Twitter or Facebook, or going Roggin at NBCUni.com. Fred's inbox is always open for business.
Baseball season starts in less than 2 weeks, but the Dodgers are already on the clock. Corey Seeger is absolutely destroying the ball this spring. Guess he thinks it's still the postseason. The World Series MVP is hitting homer after homer after homer. Average better than .450. He's on a mission to prove he is the best shortstop in the game. And he might be on a mission to get paid. Seeger's a free agent at the end of this season. If you're the Dodgers, would you do everything you can to lock him up before that point, Nick?
Absolutely, you have to be. I mean, Corey Seeger has proven his worth. He's proven his worth on the biggest stage of them all, and he continues to prove his worth, and he's only going to get better. He's young enough to be able to extend himself for at least another, 9 or 10 year contract, if that. So if I'm the Los Angeles Dodgers, I'm Andrew Freeman, you definitely have to lock up one of the biggest guys in the world of baseball today with Corey Seeger.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one for me because I know his agent is that guy that wants to make his clients wait until the free agency. And I know he's going to be looking for this big payout. So I just don't know if you can even sign him early. I think you just kind of wait and see. He's had these injuries in the past as well. You want to make sure he's going to be healthy and you're going to get your money's worth because you are going to have to pay him the big bucks. So it has to make sense. I don't know. I think you wait a little bit.
His agent, by the way, is that guy that wants the big bucks. That's Scott Boras. So the Padres gave Fernando Tatis Jr. 14 years and $340 million. What do you think, Jackie? Is Seeger worth that kind of money?
So much money. That's a long time, and it's a lot of money. I just think right now, shorter contract. I'm thinking 10 years is better. He's definitely worth that kind of money, but I just don't know if they can afford it. And I think that's my problem with the whole situation. I'm always going to be conservative money-wise, but I think if you want to continue this run, you have to invest, and I think you do have to pay him this money. I'm just going to go for the shorter contract, as short as 10 years tops is what I would go for.
You don't know if they can afford it. Excuse me, we're talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers here are worth $8.5 billion with the B dollars. Yes, they can afford it. I would extend Corey Seager to about a 12-year contract if I had the opportunity. I mean, you look at guys that have been extended. Look at Mike Trout. You look at other guys that have been extended. These guys are top-notch guys, and Corey Seager is a name that definitely matches on the radar. So if you're the Los Angeles Dodgers, yes, you extend him. 12 years, no big deal. 340, 350, whatever. He's worth it.
You guys were great. Thank you both for being here. Really appreciate it. But right now, a man that knows exactly what Corey Seager is worth, Dodgers manager Dave Roberts. He was maligned. Some called for his job, but the Dodgers stood by their man, and now they're World Series champs. The other day, I talked with the Dodger manager. We started the conversation with Roberts reminiscing about winning the World Series.
I think the first word that comes to my mind is whirlwind. you look back from a year ago today, we're at home quarantining and not really knowing what to expect of the year, let alone our season. And to kind of go through it all took a lot of people to make it happen. For us to get through it, learn a lot about each other, our country, and ultimately win a championship for the city of Los Angeles. It's really kind of a big blur to me. I think that I recall pretty vividly the postseason, the World Series specifically, but man, when you kind of put it all together, it's kind of a blur.
You've talked about in the past how important it is to win in Los Angeles to be relevant, because you have so many franchises that have been successful over the years. You finally got that one as manager of the Dodgers. And were you relieved?
Yeah, I was. I think that elation initially, but shortly thereafter, there was relief. And I think that's a good thing. That just shows, how much it meant to me and this organization and the fans. But I think we're doing a good job of reflecting and appreciating what we did do. But to a man, we're really focused on 2021 and doing it again.
You place expectations on yourself and your team every season. But this year, could the expectations even be higher, given that you won it last year?
I don't know. I don't know, Fred. I don't think they could be higher. I still think that each year individually, you're still trying to win a championship. So, if we're not the last team standing, there'll be considerable disappointment. So I think that's kind of how I look at it. But again, we can't win it here in March. And right now we're in a good place mentally as a team, as an organization. So I just want to get better each day and put ourselves in that same position.
Dave, recently you sent a letter out to the organization about discrimination, about prejudice. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I just think that, with what's going on in our country, there's a lot of people that are falling victim to innocent people, Asian Americans that are victim of a lot of hate crimes. What, little platform I do have, I just felt that it was important for me to voice that, internally with the organization, and for them to kind of share my same thoughts and sentiments was important. And I think that the more people that are talking about what needs to be done, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong, how you treat people, is important.
Anybody surprise you this spring? Anybody catch your eye that you didn't expect to?
I wouldn't say surprised, but I'm really encouraged about the way Gavin is playing right now. Not to be a surprise again, but I think Tony Gonsolin's had a really good spring. And just to see David Price come in after taking a year off, where he's at is really encouraging as well. But across the board, and even, Trevor getting here, acclimating really well with our culture has been really good to see.
And Kenley, has he surprised you this spring? Because he's been lights out.
He's been lights out. And I think that when you take an all-star player who's got a chip on his shoulder, feel they've got something to prove, that's always a good thing. His body is in great shape. The challenge is to do it, every day, all year long. So, if he can do that, I expect the results will be there for all of us.
David, appreciate you taking a couple of minutes and hanging around for us. Thanks so much.
Okay, Fred, you got it.
I guarantee Dave's a popular guy here in Los Angeles, but few coaches in Southern California are as revered as Lou Ferrar was down at Charter Oak and Covina. In our inside story, it's up to his son, his grandson, and his football family to carry on his legacy.
One word to describe Big Lou is a blessing.
Big Lou was passionate.
My mentor.
Integrity.
Inspiring.
Words that describe the legend that is Lou Ferrar. For nearly 4 decades, he roamed the sidelines for Charter Oak High School, a bigger-than-life figure, until he lost his battle with leukemia.
My dad's whole mantra in life was, will it matter that I was? And he just wanted to matter. He resonates and literally oozes through our pores every day.
Come on now, let's go.
His son Dominic is now the Chargers head coach and ready to embark on his first season without his dad.
I made a promise to my dad about what I was going to be able to provide our community and our football team. And so I got to make good on that promise.
Get your hands in sight.
My dad told me when he was in the hospital, I just want you to be the best version of yourself that you can be.
Chargers football is all about family, and the roots of the Ferrar family tree run deep. Dominic's son Vincent is the team's starting quarterback.
A dream of all mine since I was a little ball boy in the sidelines has been to hopefully play for him and be able to celebrate with him. And unfortunately, I won't be able to have those memories, which is tough, but I know he's still always there with me on the field.
So while this season will have its moments, it'll also pay tribute to a man whose influence will never be forgotten.
I do miss being able to go to him, but I think the lessons he's taught a lot of us, we're carrying out through now.
You're going to hear his voice, maybe it's our voice, his words. You're going to hear the stories about him.
I know that he would want us to move on, and he was bigger than life, but he was never bigger than the game of football.
3, 1, 2, 3,
Charter Oak kicks off their season next Friday night. Their first season without Big Lou. And we're back after this.
Stay safe, stay healthy. Eventually, we'll get through this. Going Roggin continues in a couple of minutes. Things are finally opening up, and we love opening up our messages. Send one to Fred NBC LA on Twitter or Facebook, or Going Roggin at NBCUni.com. Send as many as you want. We never reach full capacity.
Thanks to Dave Roberts, and thanks to you for staying in with the Going Roggin Home Edition. You can always be part of the conversation. Email us at goingroggin at NBCUni.com or hit me up on Facebook or Twitter for NBCLA on both. Stay safe and stay healthy. And wherever you go, keep going Roggin.